The joy of Christmas surprises, wrapped in brown paper. The kitchen table was crowded that afternoon with bits of paper in tins that we had been saving. We pushed it aside so we would have room to work. Gran banged her spoon against the pan and said, "Soap. That's what we'll be doing this year." Mom agreed with a small nod, but I could tell from the way that she smoothed out the front of her apron that she was nervous about how it might turn out. My sister and I traded quick glances, already curious about how this would turn out. It was 1942, and in our part of Britain, nobody gave much thought to buying presents. The shops had little to offer, and ration books decided what you could take home. Gran said that soap would be useful, and useful gifts were sensible gifts, and that sensible gift was what everyone needed. Homemade gifts were the only real choice, so once Gran had the idea, it became a family project. The kitchen became our workshop. Gran took charge from the stool she liked to stand on, hitting the spoon against the rim of the pan to remind us that she was in charge. "Keep it steady," she told me. "Not too fast and not too slow." My sister leaned in and said I always got the easy jobs. I told her she was too young to stir properly. She snatched the spoon to try to prove me wrong and sent a splash of mixture running down the side of the pot. Gran barked, "Enough of that!" and the spoon came right back to me. The smell crept up first, sharp and sour, unlike the traditional Christmas scents. It stung our noses and seemed to cling to the curtains. Mom tried to help by pulling out a little bottle of lavender oil she had been saving for months. She tipped into a drop and then dripped in a drop, then another, and before she knew it, the whole bottle was nearly gone. The air changed suddenly. The sharp smell gave way to a blast of lavender so strong my sister started coughing dramatically and waved her arms about. "We are not giving presents," she said. "We are giving punishments." Mom pressed her lips together to hide a smile, and Gran scolded us back to our stirring. When the bubbling mixture was ready, we poured it into every container we could find. We pressed patterns into the top with whatever we had on hand, a star-shaped cutter, the bottom of a toy soldier, or even the rim of a teacup. Some of them came out the way we imagined. My sister's stars sagged at one point, and mine leaned to one side. Gran peered at them and called them character soaps, which made Mom laugh softly as she wiped the counter. The wrapping took almost as much effort as the soap itself. We flattened scraps of brown parcel paper and tied each bar with a string. Mom opened a small tin and showed us a handful of faded ribbons she had saved from a hat. "One bow each," she said, and tied them with care. Mine sat sideways, my sister's twisted into a knot, and even Mom's slid out of the corner. Gran only nodded and said, "That will do." By the time the soaps were lined up in an old bread basket, they looked better than we had expected. Not like something you would buy in a shop, but beautiful in their own special way. The crooked bows and uneven shapes piled together made the basket look more festive than we expected. A few evenings later, we bundled into coats and set off down the lane. The basket was heavy to carry, so we took turns carrying it. At each door, the neighbors greeted us, some chuckling at the uneven stars, and others sniffing at the strong lavender. One man held his bar in both hands, as if he couldn't quite believe it was his to keep. When the last soap was given out, we started back down the lane. Gran carried the basket, and my sister argued hers had been the best liked, and Mom just shook her head with that quiet smile of hers. The cold bit at our cheeks, yet I remember the walk as one of the warmest parts of that Christmas. Merry Christmas from the Paawz house. See you tomorrow.